Play that game.
Yeah, very PC. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, I got to check out a TV show that just premiered, starring one of our favorite actors, Tom Hardy.
Right,
Of all
yeah.
people.
Yep.
Yeah, this is,
I've been looking forward to
Amy
this
doesn't
show.
like him.
Amy
Yeah,
doesn't
I'm not a
like
fan
She's
of
never been
him.
a
I
fan.
definitely do not like Tom Hardy in any way.
And I keep
At
hearing about
all.
I keep hearing about this show though.
No, I love Tom Hardy, guys. Please,
Yeah.
please, anyone out there,
Like
just know that I
we
love
get
Tom
that.
Hardy very much.
No, I think
I don't
everyone
want
knew you were being-
anyone out there to be like, excuse me.
What a bitch.
No, everyone knew you were being facetious,
Mm.
except Herb. He's
I like Tom Hardy, but my best friend makes my interest in Tom Hardy, I think, eclipsed greatly.
Yeah.
Oh wow, you super fan?
She goes a little.
I'm pretty sure that if he could erect some sort of shrine
Oh wow.
to Tom Hardy,
Perfect. Yeah.
specifically, real quick, I would say early 2000s MySpace Tom Hardy.
Oh,
For
where
those who don't know,
where
please look up his MySpace
the whitey
photos.
tighties and the gut all out,
The
right?
ultra skinny.
Man is in his natural habitat. Isn't that how he referred to it? I think that's what he
Yeah,
said
so
about
please,
it. Yeah,
please,
yeah.
everyone, when you are listening to Pat's review of Taboo, take a second and Google Tom Hardy's MySpace photos.
Oh, why would you do that? Because now they're gonna get these weird lanky.
You
pictures of
need
dudes
to
who's
know,
all
people.
gangly.
It's
really
out
important.
there.
The
It's
truth.
out there,
The
right?
truth is out there.
Just like watch Layer Cake or Star Trek Nemesis to see the original recipe Tom Hardy before like the Bane
The
and
original
Bronson
recipe.
workouts came into the mix.
Oh.
Before the workouts for Taboo.
Bronson was like 10 years ago, dude. He's been.
He was monstrous then.
I like Warrior
he's
Tom
gotten
Hardy.
bigger and badder. Warrior Tom Hardy was frightening. 'Cause I know people like that.
You're right.
He was like some random dude from South. Oh my God, you was in the cold? Like, you're English. Stop that. All right, but no. Taboo is a story about a man who, it's set in the 1800s. He goes off to find himself in the world, and he didn't really come from an upscale family. He came from a known family in the community, but kind of known for being they're a family that's kind of squandered anything they have, and the father's a bit of a not really like a man with high social standing, but he owns a single piece of land. And Hardy comes back after his father's death to negotiate for that piece of land that apparently England wants, America wants, and no one really knows why this piece of land, which as far as they are familiar with, is just like a mud pack.
Yeah.
Just
Just a spot of dirt out in there in the woods.
Yeah. And it turned out to be really important for reasons I won't divulge because that's a bit of a spoiler. But he comes back to town and people don't recognize him. He has to reacquaint himself with folks. And as people start to recognize him, you realize, since we don't know much about him at the start of the show, that he wasn't really the nicest guy. He was kind of a man with a dark past. And as a kid, he always seemed troubled. And everyone has like bad memories of him. And once people find, basically, he comes back to town, everyone's kind of like, standoffish and stiff arms him. And then once they remember who he is, they're really shitey to him. And I'm like, yo, you know what? This sounds like some serious business because that means he's gonna come back and wreck shop
With a vengeance, sure. Yeah.
It's Tom Hardy. Let's do this. Let's go. And then I got to sit and watch him walk around for 45 minutes.
Excuse me, you told me that you can also see his butt.
Occasionally, you do see his butt. Yes. You see
Just out and just
out.
That's what happens in the
There's
1800s, I
full
guess,
frontal
yeah.
nudity in this. This is along the
Oh,
same
excuse me.
lines
This was not the first thing you told me about this show.
I wanted to tease till the end.
Dang.
Exactly. That's what I'm doing. I'm particularly trolling Amy by leaving out these details. No, I'm upset because I love Tom Hardy's work. I really wanted to see him shine in this, and instead I got a lot of attempted emotion from other people being given the floor to actually speak and react to Tom Hardy's lack of action. He's playing a very dark, brooding figure here, which can in itself be very poignant, be very deep.
seems like all he has to these days is that dark, brooding, quiet.
Maybe, but this isn't like Bane presence where eventually he speaks. It's like this is just he's just a guy. I don't have anything much to equate it with because he doesn't do anything. He doesn't say anything. He walks here and it's like, okay, this kind of goony figure's walking up to these people. He's going to start a fight. It's going to be real. No, he walks to these people. They get out of his way and he keeps walking. Wow, okay. He walks into a bar. Someone recognizes him. Okay, something's going to happen now. This big dramatic scene. No. They look at him.
Do you get a sense it's building towards something? Like maybe something eventually happen?
I get the sense, but it's far too much of a slow burn. Like any show that's aware of itself
Isn't this Ridley Scott? Isn't this... Who's directing this? Isn't it something crazy?
Oh, dang it. I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure it was like something insane. Like it was like Ridley Scott like making this TV show.
Well, if it is, they should know better. Especially Ridley Scott, who should know at some point. Like, this isn't a movie. Okay, you don't have 2 hours to to build up a story, and then the whole thing's gonna like come to a head and then finish. This is a TV show where things actually have to happen.
Right, you got to
And-
feed people a little something, you know what I mean, to
Yeah.
keep them going along, right?
And it's the lack of action that bothers me because it's
Yeah,
Tom
Ridley
Hardy. You
Scott's
have
the
good
executive
actors.
producer on this.
Well, executive producer. That means
But
he
it's still.
approved the
he should-
concept. He got people funding, and he's backing it with his name, but he's not directly involved in the production. Which I think if he was, that'd be exponentially better. My main disappointment in this is the fact that you expect things to happen. It baits you.
Right.
He goes to this whorehouse that was his father's house, his family's property, and he's got the key for the place. And he gets approached by this woman, by the madam, and she's threatening, like, I'm gonna get my goons on you and everything. Who do you think you are? He's like, you have 2 hours to get everything up out of here. And I'm like, he's opening windows, and there's a bunch of like naked women laying there, and I'm like, okay, cool. This show has merit. Let's see what happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Why? Does nothing happen? I'm very disappointed, and it's not for lack of trying, because it's Tom Hardy. I know he's got the ability,
Right.
and I can tell he's giving his all in the problem. Well, not giving his all, but he's working with what he's being given.
Yeah.
And I think it's a failing in the writing.
That's unfortunate. I've really been looking forward to it, so I'm going to let it go a couple episodes before I sit down and give it a looky-loo. But
let's see how it pans out, because
I just see like the pictures of Tom Hardy in like war paint and stuff like that. So I'm assuming there should have been some action.
There was so little dialogue in this. That's the problem. Like, you'd think at the very least, it's just Tom Hardy not really acting with folks. But no, it's him. He goes to this place, he checks charts. He goes to this place, you watch him read a letter, and then you'll hear you'll hear a voiceover.
Yeah.
That, okay, though this is gonna read the letter to me. The voiceover will say about 3 sentences, and then it'll hold on him for like another full minute, and then he blows out a candle. Scene's over. Like, what the hell? Did he read more? What's going on? Was he reflecting?
Does he not know how to? Yeah.
Yeah, an inner monologue, something. But we watch him react for the entire time. He walks to a place, he reacts. He walks to another place, he reacts. He walks to a third place.
Sounds like a bad
gets in
RPG.
someone's face. It's very disappointing because it was boring. I know.
No boss fights, just NPC chats.
Okay, the quote-unquote boss fight was him in a meeting where they were trying to negotiate for a piece of land. He walked into a meeting, sat down, they offered him money, he said no. They said, are you sure? He said no. It's like, well, let's convince you. He said no. They said, well, look, you little and he said no. Threaten me again, I'll kill you. I'm like, oh, okay, they're threatening. Now something's going to happen. Credits.
What era does this take place in?
This takes place in 1800s London, I believe.
Okay.
London or Wales.
And so they're fighting
London
over
or Wales. They're definitely the same place.
So they're fighting over land. They're coming after his land, right? So that's what
1814 is the date.
London or Wales.
1814 London. Or
London.
Wales. London. Okay, I was right the first time.
Those
London,
are two really different places.
Oh, okay.
Especially
I could've
during
said,
that
like
era.
London or Zimbabwe. Okay. But what I'm hoping is that it's not all situated in London, because I think it might be the environment that might be the catalyst for why it was so uninteresting to start off.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing is he's got this dark background. He spent all this time in Africa.
So anticipating some flashbacks where he was this crazy character.
I'm thinking
perhaps.
that's where the action's going to come from.
Yeah.
Because the promos that they've showed, albeit intercut with a lot of just like talk and roundtable discussions, which it turns out might be the majority of the show, are intercut with these scenes of just what looks like some serious savagery. And I was hoping that by the time I saw this, that would have been just teasers to the action-filled show that this would be, and I'm a little disappointed. I will continue to give it a couple more chances, but as of right now, I can't recommend it. It's
And what
Taboo.
channel is this on? What station?
Oh, shite.
network?
This was. Thank you for putting me on the spot, man. I want to say WB, but
Yeah, it's
BBC One.
BBC. Okay, thank you. That's why they were swearing.
Right, that's
And
what I was
it
saying.
was
That their
nudity.
swearings must be. It's like Luther then, kind of.
Well, Luther's an awesome show.
Yeah.
This is not.
But that was on BBC One though too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
Also FX.
FX. Thank you. There you go.
Yeah.
It's Taboo with Tom Hardy. Take it with a strong grain of salt. If you do want to subject yourself to it, as of right now, I would say pass.
Yeah.
Oh, and Ridley Scott is an executive producer.
Yeah.
That's we
I already said that.
I know.
Oh,
and I
my
confirmed
bad.
that
We
means
also
nothing.
established that
Yeah.
you see Tom Hardy's entire wiener.
Yes, you do.
The whole.
So
thing?
for those,
That can fit on
and it takes a
camera?
whole
Maybe
episode.
just-
so for those
is fun.
who are looking for alternative reasons to watch it, the whole wiener.
It's just one slow tilt shot.
The whole, yeah, a candid shot of his winner.
Slow
Nice.
pan.
All right. Okay.
Remember, guys, MySpace photos.
This one tracking shot.
Enough about